So somebody said they found a skull right in the same location I was out before, and it turned out that it was a deer skull, but I wanted to go out searching anyway. There was no trespassing signs out there. This is kind of the area behind Broadway Alley, so you got Broadway Laundromat, you've got these houses with Halloween decorations up here on Broadway Alley. There's some gang graffiti right there. I don't know why they don't take that off. And if anybody knows what kind of tree this is, post in the comments. I'll give you a hint, it's characterized by its long seed pods. If nobody can get it, I'll put a comment in there tomorrow. More no trespassing signs. This is right where Broadway Alley ends, and there will be a cabin right up here, and I'm going to give you a tour of that at the end of this video. I took my phone up to the keyhole of the abandoned cabin. It almost looks like there's a bone in there. But first, I'm going to show you guys right behind the billboard on Pike Street and what I found there. Okay, so it said private property, so I did not go up there. I didn't want to trespass, but we're right here behind the billboard here on Pike Street. And first thing I saw was a deer right back here. So this is a path. There's a steep slope up here. You can see their driveway up there. A couple deer just standing right here, right in broad daylight. Hold on here. Video's not the clearest, is it? There they go. So yeah, apparently we're looking for a skull, and it's a deer skull, I guess. Which, it's like, well, why even bother coming out here? The original tip had me wanting to come out here and search, and that's when I heard the news was this morning when we were about to leave. My neighbor said, oh, wait a minute, my friend just said it was a deer skull, so I'm not gonna go. Let's see here. Trying to see if there's anything interesting. There's a house right up here. Again, we're off of Pike Street. Now this is a big path. I didn't know this was back here. See where there was a creek right back here. Deer went up here somewhere. Some junk and debris out here. More houses back up in here. This is real close to where I was 2 nights ago, the night before last, when I was just off of Pike and Stevens Street. I mean, I'm real close to that area. I'm just going to take this cleared out trail back here and see where it takes me, I suppose. I mean, you can't get lost one way anyway. Gosh, all kinds of trash out in here. Right up next to these guys' property. There's a ball down here. Looks like it's an old soccer ball or something. I can't even tell. There's a metal structure there. It's collapsed in. Not sure what that is. See some, oh, here's some bark pulled off a tree up here. Some mushrooms growing on it. Huh. Well, that's strange. This looks like a birch tree. Hold on here, another steep cliff I've got to get up, or slope, I should say. Okay. Huh. Well, that bark there could be stripping from deer, maybe. I mean, deer out here like crazy. Hard to say, and there are mushrooms growing right there. Now, the tip that I got was that deer skull was why I'm so excited about a deer skull now. I'm really not, but it was 40 yards to the left of this driveway that you can barely see up here. The ridge line is the driveway. And 80 yards up this way, something like that. So I should be pretty proximal to it. But there's bark pulled off a tree, and that's pulled off horizontally. So I don't know. I mean, that's one thing that we were supposed to be looking from the psychic or something, but I'm not seeing a skull out here. It's not real dense in here, but it's just dense enough. Well, I don't know. I don't see any white flowers. Well, I guess I do, but nothing out of the ordinary. That looks like termite damage down there. You can see sawdust. That doesn't explain the bark, though. Well, I don't know. I'm looking around, I'm surveying, I'm not seeing anything jumping out at me, any bones laying on the ground or anything. So, let me continue the walking path and see where that takes me, I guess. Lots of ferns out here. Anybody needs a fern dug up, let me know. There's some black piping down here. Gosh, this is bordering right up on people's property. There's a stone. Let's see here. There's a deer path, definitely a deer path right here. Now this big one, here police sirens going off. See, I must be right up on the other side of Stevens Street. I think this is the other side that I was on. I mean, this is real close to where I was and found that other deer bone the other night. At least I'm assuming it was a deer bone. Huh. So this is just going to pull me into people's property again. Oh, look at this shit. No way. Ran into a spider web. Doesn't this look like a burial site, maybe? It's a solar marker, the cross on it, a stake, right out here, right off their property. And there's wood stacked up. The hell? This was another thing we were supposed to look for from the psychic, would be wood stacked up. Now moss has grown on that, which indicates that's been there for a long time. There's another solar marker right down there. I don't know. I mean, this is kind of significant, though. Something was probably buried here. What? I don't know. We're just right off the property line here on, well, what appears to be Stevens Street. Pike Street, right across from Log Cabin Club. We did have a report of a homeless guy getting killed. Oh, it's probably been about a month ago now, and his body was found right under the steps of Log Cabin Club. I guess he was kind of like a pedophile a little bit, and yeah, some guys got really mad at him for stealing. I don't even know the full details, but apparently that's what I heard, is he was kind of a little bit of a pedophile, and they beat the crap out of him, killed him or something, and laid his body under the steps at the Log Cabin Club. But I don't know. I mean, there's obvious wood stacked up right here, so there's a truck flipped upside down. 2 of them. There's another one right there. Why is that like this? Was it for a fire? I mean, it could very well have been. But the grass has grown up now, so this is not recent. The moss is on the wood. I don't know. That was one of the things that the psychic told a couple of our friends working on the case, is that wood would be stacked up to mark the area. I don't know. And with this here, it just makes me wonder. Like I said, it could have just been for a fire. I'm not seeing bones, but then again, you'd have to go digging. I just don't know. But we were told it would be to conceal. Well, I'm not necessarily seeing anything underneath it. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything. I don't see any unusual flowers out here either. It's so hard to say. I kind of walk up to this property line a little bit, just to see if there's anything else unusual about this scene. No. Well, wait a minute, though. We were told to look for a cabin. I don't know. This is more of a wood-style house back up in here. It's not a cabin, but the paneling is like of wood construct. And there's a big barn right behind it with a wooden fence. Huh. There's more trash on the ground, a tire over here. Nothing that overly stands out from what I'm seeing. Let's venture farther in. Nothing else is glaring other than that, which I do find that's peculiar, but there's more wood stacked up right here, actually. I didn't even notice that. But there's no real evidence of burning. See, that's what gets me. So I found that bark pulled off a tree right there, and now there's wood stacked up, and this is kind of an unusual formation of how to stack it. I mean, you can see they've fallen off the trees, but it's clearly been stacked up right there. No doubt about it. So somebody's been back here to do it. Probably one of the neighbors. But it's not for a fire. If it is, I don't see any burn marks. But I'm not seeing any bones. I'm not seeing any evidence of digging with the shovel. But then again, it's been since possibly December. There are a couple more things out here. So this must have been another solar light that was out here. See it? Yeah, it was a solar light. There was another one out here. There's a third one right there on the ground. You'd be amazed what you can see if you just stay in one spot for a bit. So that's three solar stakes that were out here at one time. Now you can tell this isn't recent, but I don't know. I mean, it was there for a reason, I can say that, and it doesn't look like it was ever burnt. There's a little bit of trash back in here. That's a gnarled tree root, or vine rather. You probably can't see it, but right there. Huh, it's kind of crazy. Well, and really this is where the path kind of ends, to be honest with you. Now there are some things we aren't seeing over here. A metal gate closing together with a chain. I found that in several other locations, down here on South End even. But I'm not seeing that in this particular spot. And it kind of looks like it just kind of ends over here now. This is real close, like I said, to where I found that deer bone. It was right on the wood line, right on the edge of somebody's property of a backyard, just like this. But I'm not finding this skull. I don't know where it would be. I don't know how much longer I want to be out here looking. I'm going to pause it and resume if there's something interesting. So here's a very wide tree. I'm up close on it because I'm on a very steep cliff. You can see it going all the way down here to Pike Street. There are burn marks on this tree, and I'm not sure why, what caused it, or the significance of it. But if you go around, there are a few more. I don't know.